10. Guest altercations and incidents. On the 6th of August 1970, the Youth International Party, also known as Yippies, held a public gathering at the park called the First International Powwow, with the intention of liberating Disneyland from its establishment. Expecting a large riot, all the police departments in Orange County gave additional security, and a special court was set up to process mass arrests. However, the powwow turned out to be a peaceful protest. But as the police attempted to escort the Yippies out of the park, fights broke out between the Yippies and other guests, leading to arrests of at least 18 Yippies for violations such as property damage, trespassing, and drug possession. Another incident happened on the 7th of March in 1981, when an 18-year-old man was fatally stabbed with a knife during a fight with a 28-year-old man. The fight broke out after the victim supposedly pinched the man's girlfriend in Tomorrowland. His family sued the park for $60 million, but were later awarded $600,000 because of the park's negligence for not summoning outside medical help. 9. Altercations. An employee was allegedly assaulted by a drunk, 53-year-old man at the Twilight Zone's Tower of Terror's entrance gate around 3:30 p.m. PST on the 18th of February 2012. Thankfully, the employee pepper-sprayed the man multiple times, which prompted him to keep fighting until he was subdued by other guests. Security personnel later arrived and detained him. The man was eventually charged with assault and battery by the Anaheim Police Department. The incident was recorded via the phone's camera and uploaded to YouTube. 8. Public health and infectious disease outbreaks. As a result of the measles outbreak that affected residents of 8 U.S. states like Canada and Mexico, between December 17th and December 20th, 2014, visitors at the park were exposed to measles. A suspected measles case was reported to the California Department of Public Health on January 5th, 2015. The next month, about 39 individuals who visited at least one of the 2 adjacent Disney parks during the exposure period had become ill. In addition to this direct exposure, several secondary and unknown transmissions were reported. After 42 days with no traceable transmission, the measles outbreak was declared over, with 147 cases within the United States. This outbreak resulted in no known deaths. Another public health issue was COVID-19. In response to the novel COVID-19 pandemic and the stay-at-home order from the California Governor Gavin Newsom, the parks were closed along with the 3 Disneyland resort hotels in March 16, 2020. It was later announced by the California Department of Public Health that Disneyland could reopen with capacity restrictions beginning April 1, 2021. The following week, the company officially reopened the park. 7. Colombia. On December 24, 1998, a 30-year-old cast member and 2 park guests were struck by a heavy metal cleat fastened to the hull of the sailing ship Columbia. One of the guests died of a head injury 2 days later at the UCI Medical Center. The normal tie line, an inelastic hemp rope, was improperly replaced by an elastic nylon rope for financial reasons. This stretched and tore the cleat from the ship's wooden hull. Disney received much criticism for this incident because of its alleged policy of restricting outside medical personnel in the park, as well as the fact that the employee in charge of the ship at the time was untrained. California's Division of Occupational Safety and Health investigated the incident and discovered that the fault came from the lack of training of the park employee who placed the docking line on the cleat. After this incident, Disney reinstated lead foremen on most rides. The Anaheim Police Department also placed officers in the park to speed up the response. Disney was fined $12,500 by California's Division of Occupational Safety and Health and settled a lawsuit brought by the victim survivors for an estimated $25 million. 6. Hyperion Theater. A 36-year-old stage technician fell 60 feet from a catwalk in the Hyperion Theater on the 22nd of April 2003. The victim never regained consciousness following the incident and died the following month. This prompted an investigation by the California Occupational Safety and Health Administration, which fined the Disneyland resort $18,350 for safety violations that led to the technician's death. On September 25, 2011, the flying carpet prop used in A Whole New World in Disney's Aladdin, a musical spectacular, malfunctioned while flying through the theater. It flipped over and suspended the actors upside down. The performance was immediately stopped, and the theater was evacuated, but there were no injuries or death. 5. Power outages. Power outages have also struck the Disneyland Resort. On December 27, 2017, a major power outage temporarily closed down rides, those located in Fantasyland and Toontown. The rides that lost power had to be evacuated, but there was no need for assistance from the local fire department. Thankfully, no injuries were reported, and later in the day, all attractions were fully operational again. 4. Incredicoaster. On July 29, 2005, a purple train rear-ended a red train, leaving 25 of the 48 guests aboard injured. 15 of them were taken to the hospital for treatment of minor injuries. 23 people were also rescued from California Screamin' by firefighters on July 22, 2011, when a person's backpack fell out of the train and landed on the track. This caused the orange train to stop just after the loop. It was reopened 2 days later, had its damaged wheels replaced, and was allowed to complete the circuit. A similar incident occurred on August 6, 2016, when a woman's purse fell onto the tracks, triggering an automatic stop. This stuck about 15 passengers on the ride for 45 minutes. However, no injuries were reported. 3. A Christmas Fantasy Parade. On the 15th of December 2018, a float with Santa Claus on his sled collapsed partially during a performance of A Christmas Fantasy Parade. This caused the sled's front to fall downward. The actor playing Santa was thrown off the sled, leaving him dangling by his safety harness. Fortunately for him, he wasn't injured and left the stage unassisted. Performances resumed later in the day without the disabled float. 2. Big Thunder Mountain Railroad. On March 10, 1998, a 5-year-old boy was seriously injured after the train temporarily paused before pulling into the unloading area. This left his foot wedged between the passenger car's running board and the edge of the platform, leading to the amputation of each toe on his left foot. Disneyland later made improvements to the ride. The boy's family, however, claimed that the park didn't acknowledge the accident as the reason for doing so. Also, in 2004, 3 family members from Telluride, Colorado, suffered injuries after a collision between the coaster train and another one parked at the station. A lawsuit was filed and the ride was shut down temporarily for 3 weeks, having been noted that the park allegedly failed to follow proper safety procedures on the ride. 1. Mickey and Friends Parking Structures. 2 women suffered head injuries after falling off a tram in the parking lot on the 23rd of February 2007. Several suicides have been reported in the Mickey and Friends parking structure. On the 17th of October 2010, a 61-year-old man from Hickman, California, jumped off the structure's top floor and left a note citing personal issues. Another one was investigated on April 2, 2012, when the body of a 23-year-old man was found near the northwest corner of the Mickey and Friends parking structure. He was pronounced dead at the scene, but there were no witnesses that saw the man jump. Also on November 26, 2016, a 40-year-old man jumped to his death from the parking structure. He was rushed to UC Irvine Medical Center, but was pronounced dead at 3:08 a.m. PST. On February 13, 2017, there was a fire outbreak on the second floor of the Mickey and Friends parking structure. About 7 people were treated for smoke inhalation. 4 cars were instantly destroyed, while an additional 4 cars received major damage.